Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Okay, that was Ladysmith Black Mambazo, pretty popular African group if you haven't heard of them, doing Silent Night, Holy Night. Very pretty rendition. Welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli, and welcome to our 12th and final installment of the 12 Flicks of Christmas. This is the 12 Drummers drumming version or installment, as it were. The reason I chose that song is because Logan and I, and I'm not too happy with him right now. He chose, or she, that's one of my New Year's resolutions, because Logan is identifying as a woman, so wants me to say she. I'm really working on that. That's hard. Anyway, back to what I was going to talk about. But Logan was supposed to join me to do this review because Logan chose the movie, and now I got to do it on my own. It was okay. It's called Holiday in the Wild. It has beautiful people in it. Kristin Davis for me, Rob Lowe for whoever, maybe for me as well. But you got two gorgeous people in their 50s or 60s, whatever they are right now. For those of you who don't know who Kristin Davis is, she's most famous for being the brunette in Sex and the City. For those of you who don't know who Rob Lowe is, use your computer. If you don't know who Rob Lowe is, you shouldn't be watching this, honestly. So yeah, Christmas in the Wild starts off with Kristin Davis. You can tell her relationship with her husband of about 20 years is not going well, but it seems like it's fixable. They've got a kid going off to college. They're soon to be empty nesters, and all of a sudden she's like, "Hey, I scheduled a second honeymoon for us. We're going to go to Africa for Christmas. Isn't that great?" He's like, "I want a divorce." Holy shit. That's how the movie starts, basically. Very quickly into it. So she's all of a sudden feeling very alone, very hurt. She really doesn't know what to do with herself. Luckily, they are well off. She does not have to work. And so she's been kind of just basically a housewife for the most part for the 20 years or the 18 years that her son has been growing up. And he's going to go to college. And they're from the city, from New York City. And he's going to go to college in nearby New Jersey. And all of a sudden, and the divorce, I have to say, is handled pretty maturely. But there's some parts of this movie that can be very confusing. For instance, one is the kid. Not so much him, but they don't explain it in the movie. They just show him going off to college with a girl, and you really don't. You assume that it's his girlfriend, but you don't know. The very opening shot of the movie is them in the dad's office. You can tell dad's too busy on his cell phone to work with this professional photographer that they've hired to take a nice picture with the New York skyline in the background from his opulent office with a Christmas tree in it. And he's like, what are the shares on Facebook today, or whatever he's doing, whatever business is too important for him to stand for 10 seconds for this poor photographer to get his job done. And so you can, they've set the stage already, set the tone of the movie that this guy's going to be out to lunch for the most part, too busy earning money to spend time with his family. And so they start with that. They get the pictures taken, and then next thing you know, this kid's got to go to college, and so. And the thing I told you before with her setting up the second honeymoon in Africa, divorced. Here we go. But what I was going to say is this girl that he was with a couple scenes later as he's going off to college, she wasn't in the family photo for the Christmas card that they're taking, in dad's office. So, but they don't establish whether she's the girlfriend or not, or who the hell she is. Is she a friend? Is she his sister, but she just didn't get in on the Christmas card photo for some reason? It's very odd. Find out later that she was his girlfriend. So he goes off to college. Dad goes off to, I mean, he is ready too, by the way, when she comes up and has some bags packed, Kristin Davis's character, and goes, hey, I planned the honeymoon for Africa. He has his own bags. So I want a divorce. I was like, wow, you're really ready to deliver this message, were you not? So she goes anyway. Her friends are like, you should go. And she's like, yeah, I guess I got nothing really here for me right now. My son's at college. My husband is soon not going to be my husband. So she goes to Africa. And it's a beautifully shot film. You've got beautiful people in a beautiful locale, and it's a nice story. Rob Lowe plays like a tour guide down there. He's also helping rescue elephants, so that's really cool. And she's down there, and she wants to just be a tourist at first, but then she gets into this elephant rescue business, and they they start falling in love a little bit, and they kiss, but things are rocky. It's always one of those tenuous relationships. She's coming off a divorce. His wife has been dead for a long time, but there's another love interest, or is it? It's one of those other scenes with a person that's introduced, but you don't know what the hell they are. Okay, so he's in the tent. They're out on whatever. I'm not going to call it the outback. It's not the veldt. It's not the savannah. Maybe it's technically savannah. I don't know. It's where giraffes and elephants and water buffalo live. Okay, and so they she gets in the tent with him. It's a nice stand-up tent. They're like air-conditioned, super nice tents. She's in there, and they start kissing, and all of a sudden, this blonde walks in, and you can tell she's probably Dutch or English, and probably like of South African descent, possibly. You're not exactly sure. She comes in, you can tell she's not pleased that they're kissing. But they don't establish, once again, who is this? She's very young looking. She could be his daughter. She really could. She's old enough and could be his daughter, his lover, his girlfriend. We don't know, because they don't tell us until much later. Once again, you find, oh, okay, that was the girlfriend. That's why she's acting nutty. But she's very young. Ends up, she also runs this foundation that is funding this effort to save the elephants. And she's trying to kind of maybe make this relationship work with Rob Lowe's character, but we don't know. By the way, every time I've said he the last 2 minutes, I'm referring to Rob Lowe. How could I not be? So she kind of is like, she's getting a little pissed off, and as she's been watching this relationship kind of grow between Kristin Davis and Rob Lowe, but rather than like be an adult about it and say, hey, you need to make a decision, I'm in love with you, or we got to figure out what this is, she just goes, all right, it's her or me. If it's her, I am yanking my money, and the foundation will not last for more than 6 months once I stop putting my money into this effort. And the elephants will start to die, or it'll be a very underfunded project and it won't do as well. And he's just like, holy shit. But he's like, okay, fine, bye. And so Kristin Davis, another weird part of this movie is Kristin Davis sticks around for like 2 months. And the relationship goes nowhere. And all of a sudden, we're like in September, October, all of a sudden we're near Christmas, more like 3 months. She was going to stay there a month originally. And it would from like late August to late September. That's when her kid went to college and all the shit hit the fan with the divorce. And then from late September to late December, like 3 months, we're like in this holding pattern, but you don't really know what's going on with the relationship. And then they kind of spring it on you. They're kind of working on like, that she's trying to find herself after, getting a divorce sprung upon her after 20 years of marriage. That she's kind of falling in love with Rob Lowe and the elephants in Africa, but you really don't know where it's going. They do a lot of scenes with her helping the elephants, her becoming kind of ensconced in the African culture and loving these people and loving this place. I think it's filmed in Zambia, which is Southwest Africa, but I think they established that sometime in the movie when they first fly in there. Lusaka is the capital, so I think it's Zambia. Anyway, sorry for the geography lesson that I totally couldn't teach, but so these 3 months go by. We're back at Christmas. They start falling in love again, and the woman's like, yeah, I'm out of here and I'm taking my money with me. And then she goes back to New York, and we're like, oh, okay, well, I thought things were going to happen in Africa for Kristin Davis and Rob Lowe. No, Kristin Davis goes back to New York. However, here's what she did. She got all her rich friends together and told them the story and said what this blonde little chippy did to Rob Lowe's little foundation, and boom, She gets like millions of dollars to support the foundation, goes back to Africa. There's a very nice happy ending, and you know, they're gonna build their relationship. They're gonna continue to save elephants, and they're funded to do it. So it's a very nice story. Once again, it's hard for me to just watch Christmas films that where it doesn't snow. Although this story was very nice, it was very colorful. Kind of reminded me of the Spanish one that I told you about before, A Thousand Miles from Christmas, except that it didn't have any snow like A Thousand Miles from Christmas did. But it's a very sweet story, a story that needs to be told. Honestly, we need to, and even at the end of the movie, they do a couple paragraph or a couple sentences about how the elephant population's declining horribly in Africa because of poaching and loss of habitat, and please support any conservation efforts you can. And so that's nice. But it was a very nice film to end the 12 on, but it was also a little bit of a letdown because I wanted it to be so bad it was good, but it was just a pretty good film, right? It wasn't a film I would normally take an hour and a half out of my life to spend upon unless I were doing this, but it also wasn't terrible. But we kind of wanted it to be bad. We wanted the last one to be bad, but it wasn't. So if you get a chance to check it out, I had no problems with the movie. Like I say, I am a big Kristin Davis fan. I think she's gorgeous, and I also kind of what I'm going to call. I'm going to call it maybe the Andie MacDowell effect from a couple movies ago, where these women that are beautiful, have been beautiful all their lives, and they're aging, and it's probably hard on them, but they're letting themselves age, and they're not becoming into what one of my favorite comics ever, Greg Giraldo, called rubber-faced monsters of Hollywood, because so many women have been convinced that they can't make it in Hollywood unless they get plastic surgery done. Luckily, these two women have not done that, and I hope that's a trend that grows, because women should be, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. I mean, look at this. If anyone needs work done, it's me. So women, have faith in your beauty, take care of yourselves, and just know that we love you, and that you don't need to do stuff to your face to be attractive to the rest of us. At least that's how I feel about it. That was a lot. But like I said, like the movie generally, but maybe I'll do a 13th one for New Year's Day and find something really goofy and stupid and snowy to do a commentary on tomorrow, because I'll have time to do it. This is my second to last video of the year. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for getting through the 12 flicks of Christmas with me, and I'll be coming at you next time with a final farewell for 2021, a little New Year's Eve how do I want to put it, message and an homage to a lot of people we lost this year, which is kind of a bummer, but I'll also try to, end with hope. All right. Thanks, you guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks for checking out this glut of videos I've put out today on the last day of 2021. Bye.